Alright guys, now let's test our user registration functionality. Alright, so we are going to run the backend, then we'll run the front end, then we'll now create a user, alright, in the browser. So, but first of all, make sure that your web security config class is exactly like this. Alright, just make sure that this is exactly what you have and there are no typos anywhere. Alright, and also make sure that your user registration request is also looking like this @JSON property first underscore name. This is exactly how the first name is coming from the front end. All right, so this property will map it to this first name that we are actually used to making our requests that will save to the database. So make sure your own is like this and make sure there are no typos. All right, so now let's run this backend application. So we'll click on this button now to run the app. All right, so the app is running successfully and it's running on port 3030. Now let's go to the front end and also run the front end app. All right guys, we're in the front end. All right, so this is the API service and this is the functionality that we interact with the backend, all right, to actually create a user. So this is the front end endpoint that is making requests to the backend. All right, so make sure your own is exactly like this and make sure there are no typos. Look at the name create user. All right, and we're actually sending a form data to the backend and the request is the method is a post request. So make sure your own is exactly like this. All right, so this is the sign up functionality now. All right guys, make sure your own is exactly like this. Make sure there are no typos anywhere. So look at the request we are sending to the backend. You see first underscore name, last underscore name. So this is exactly how it is in the backend. Remember I mentioned at the use of that @JSON property, which because this is what we are sending to the backend, first underscore name. So that's what the backend is expecting. So that @JSON underscore property has handled this already. So make sure your own is exactly like this and make sure there are no typos in your code. All right, so the next thing we have to do now is to run this front-end application, then access the app on the browser. All right, so we have opened our terminal now. So we are going to run this command now: npm run build. All right, so webpack is going to build this now. So you see the build is successful. So the next thing we are going to say http server -p 2020. All right, so the app will be running on port 2020. Now let's access the app on the browser. All right guys, we are on incognito mode. All right, so we'll just access the link. This is localhost 2020. Now this is the welcome page. All right, so this is the welcome test. It's a lack of effective communication is the bane of every failed relationship. Out of sight doesn't mean out of mind. Communication is pertinent. All right, so once we click on this chat now button, it's going to take us to the login page. Although we have not really implemented the login functionality, but you'll see the page, and then from the page we'll navigate to the sign up page where we'll actually register our user. So click on this. Now we're in the login page. Now we'll click on this. So this is the sign up page. All right, now let's populate our sign up form. All right guys, we are done populating our sign up form. You see I have my first name, the last name, my username is Dev, then this is my email, this is my phone number, then this is my profile picture, and this is the password. All right, so you can see both the main password and the confirm password, they match. Now if you click on this sign up button, we are actually going to register this user. All right, so let's click on this. So you see we have successfully registered this user. All right, now let's check the database to see if this user is actually there. All right guys, so you can see now that we have the user here. All right, so this is the user, this is username, this is first name, and this is last name. So the next thing we have to do now is to proceed to start implementing our login functionality.